we were finally going to see that Tigre on the stand. We've almost got this case run now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? I must have given Mr. Armstrong just now. He said he was just doing what the Tigre told him to do. Bill picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know. If that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. With the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe! What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair was standing on edge! Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Top Cut Knot! It's not a top knot! Never mind about the hair, just calm down, alright? I can't stand still, I don't have a job to do. I gotta get wound up. No kidding. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal, anything! Well, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I can get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. That's some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag. We'll be stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour? You bet! In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? Take that! We're going back to the station anyway. Can you find out whose prints are on this? Oh, hey! That's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah. I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me, too. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Let's make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. Now we convene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on! He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Very well. Please show Mr. Tigre to the stage. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Ah! Don't hide under the table, Maya. And there's just room for me down there too. Would you mind what you said to me? Nothing. I didn't say nothing, honest. Who can guess that Phil would include a bad book of action in the judge? I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me this hole? Was it you, Sparky? No, of course not. It was the judge. Your Honor! Oh dear, I just dropped my pen. Well, not this it. Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it. We're doomed. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What did you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no sticky incident, mask boy. You didn't attend the previous trial, Maggie Bud? Maggie who? I got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright. You're the one who set this up, didn't you? You're gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Get a grip, Nick! I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up for business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from Tender Lender every single day. You wanna check my alibi? Just ask by a letter. At last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination. Ah! What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that. I know that kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lawyer ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this game, I'm gonna bill you $50,000. And you're gonna borrow the cash from me. What's going on? One loan contract I refuse to sign. I don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute. It's really not. This witness is, how can I put it, a hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. If you're on his bad side, he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system. You better be listening, as I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split it now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick. Come out from under the desk already, would you, Maya? I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up for business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, man in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. Seems like a rather sketchy schedule. There he goes again! What the time of it all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So now what? Mr. Tigre, what you want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
Objection!
This is a dead end, right? And you know it. Remember the rules.
Objection!
Now, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Where were you in the office that day? 2. Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I had never seen that young kid before. The witness's last statement was important. Mr. Goodell, if you could, please. Mr. Tigre, the court asked you to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. Yeah, you talking about? I was in the office too. I'd never seen that kid before.
Objection!
Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glen Alec, but it appears that Mr. Egg knew you. What? Mr. Egg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glen Alec. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Not bad. He's actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with you to see how good you are. You know that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without, because he's lying through his teeth. Witness, just remember that you're under oath. I shall not be tolerated. You're calling me a liar? Is that what you're doing? Whoa. So you're saying that your claims to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You better believe that's the truth. And I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigre. Yes, would you mind indulging the court witness? You never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. I ain't no liar. I never met Glenn. There was some lame guy with that name, though, once bought cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, 10 to London. I went around for him, but he ain't ever showed. I ain't never ever been to that trash bin joint you hear. I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's gonna straight to you, right? I ain't no lie, I never met Glenn. There was some lame guy with that name though, wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, 10 to London. I went around for him, but he ain't ever sold. I ain't ever been to that trash bin joint, you hear?
Objection!
Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What you talking about? We found them in your office at 10 to London. They're from that restaurant. What? If you've really never been to Trespan before, what was the book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? Who's been super around my stuff too now, Wesley? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no boy on controlling me. Order, well, witness. This time you start telling us the truth, don't you? Sorry, I'm terribly sorry. Forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But, okay, I was at the joint that day. What? But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met the kid. Well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenn Elg that day, and he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. I opened the door to the joint and I saw one ugly thing. I was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured the place wasn't hot already, it was going to be, so I split. I had the cops down on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. I see you didn't actually meet with him in the end then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it! If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express! No more stupid questions! No problem. Anytime Trent presses you on something irrelevant, I see he pays a penalty. Mr. Godot, that's my job! Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it! Yes, sir! The Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so you know since you're paying. Oh man, just the rule of law mean anything around here? I was supposed to meet with Gail at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly thing. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete.
Objection!
You're something of a loan collector pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre? No one escaped the Tigre's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie-detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Wright? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre. From there, you feel a visible have covered an area something like this. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. What? That's true! Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. To the entrance, the fear of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So from the entrance of Trespin, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day, because you met with him.
Objection!
What? Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table.
Objection!
The defense proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glenn Alec, but a fake. What? All the time Mr. Kudo falsely testified, Kudo posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. Would do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? The killer murdered Glenn Alec. Did he impersonate his victim in a performance from Victor Kudo? In that case, Mr. Wright, will the identity of this criminal to the court?
Take that!
The killer is Fear Tigre! No one else could have done it! What? Well, witness? Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the Tigre? Maybe you don't understand. The Tigre is king of the jungle. I dare you to say it again. Come on! You got the gut? You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigre. It's defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright! That's me like it must be you, old man. You've got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, don't make me to handle this alone. Perhaps I can handle this embarrassment. Mr. Godot, let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see the victim. Just the victim no. Someone go buy a Giamachino. Let's see, put something in it. No question about it. See, it's gets me to put some white powder in it. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains he saw the accused put the poison into his coffee. Yes, it was a waitress.
Objection!
Very impressive, Mr. Goodell. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Found your pen at last, Wright. It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Alec, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright. I think the conclusion is obvious. This guy and I was really the killer in disguise. Sorry, it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? The defendant, Miss Bud, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress' true witness?
Take that!
Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Cadavarini. She's an employee of Tenderlander. He's making a big mistake. Do you know who Viola's grandfather is? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight if you know what I mean. Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bud, has stayed at the bar. Well, when I took the coffee, it was over the table. Sure, there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy. And she had a kind of cackling laugh. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table was who nobody but Miss Bud seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when the eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice. Once for real and once for show. And Mr. Peter Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime is you. Witness, what have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? He's alright. I could do for a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to call a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about. You got it all wrapped up nice, alright? But you missed out one real important thing. That can't be. I was in the dorm that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you see? What? You really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre? What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Twist Bin between yourself and the victim? Yeah, I loaned Elcast about $100,000. That day, we were due to have a little chat. The kid had his payback date, see? Anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to find the guy when he starts screaming. Yes! I won $500,000! He got lucky. You know, we're lucky. Can't wait to have it get done. Everything would have been over. Now I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. Ugg was $15,000. $50,000. Yeah, well, you've got the things account. Interest builds up fast, no? Faster than fast. $100,000 is twice as principal. The repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? Yeah, I love that cat. about $100,000. There he was just having a little tap. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay out. I'm about to find the guy when he starts screaming. Yes! I won $500,000. You got real lucky, you know? Real lucky. That wasted 10 penalty a day, everything would have been over.
Hold it!
The waitress? You mean? Go with the glasses and the fence there. Who else could I mean? He hadn't gotten the way things would have been bada bang, bada boom. Over and done with. Push a little on this. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Are you all there or what? I'm talking about the cat. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. So I'm coming together before that waitress got in the way. As I could tell from the witness's testimony, other than the his lone Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you amend your testimony to reflect what you just said. Tigre's motive. I left the 100,000 and I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy.
Objection!
So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elg owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, $100,000 wasn't enough to cover it, was it? Huh? About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. Where did you get all this info? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, the operation cost $1 million. Payment for these expenses was due in December of last year, and was paid in full. $1 million? A monstrous sum. Someone to sue these demos. No one would pay a bill like that. Medical Association of Women Dead, the hospital would have been dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Order. His life depended on it, Mr. Wright. Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. You say Cadaverini? Rudo Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and Italian grandfather to his princess Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Alex's life to pay your debt. Order. What do you say to that, witness?
Objection!
That's that fairy tale, Wright. That doesn't tie him to Mr. Allen's murder. Mr. Allen owed him $100,000 and had no hope of repaying it anyway. Yeah, that guy wasn't worth my stay. I don't think so. In fact, the opposite is true. The opposite? Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But, in this case, the very fact that Glenn had no way to repay the money was crucial. What? You know where you're going with this, Nick? You got to think outside the box, Maya. Outside the box? It's very straightforward. Mr. Tigre wasn't after $100,000 at all. Seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. You care to share it with us? What exactly was Mr. Tigre after? Egg was the programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Egg put up in order to borrow the money. Wright. He had the skill to create a computer virus, so he did. A virus known as MC Bomber. Virus? What does one of those do? A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the inside of a computer. A computer? What does one of those do? I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Mr. Tigre, you couldn't have cared less about the $100,000, isn't that right? All you cared about was one thing, the virus! Day of the bomber, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Granite had no way of paying back the $100,000 and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kid that Mr. Tigre would put say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I. The lottery win. Exactly! At the 11th hour, Mr. Ebb won $500,000 on the lottery! Except Mr. Tigre had no way of getting his hands on the R-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means. It's crazy. He motored Glenn out, and they made his next move to frame Maggie Bud from the crime. Mr. Tigre poses Glenn out. While vile academically played the role in this book. And then they reenact the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection!
Like I said, Wright, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. Stardust. There's no way the chef would have kept in the dark about it.
Objection!
Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Goodell? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too, $500,000 of it. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan. Order, order! Silence or I'll kill the car! You put me on a good though, Spikey. If you want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd be as bad as my stuff. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. You? But you're a parent. You're very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. White? Interesting. Well, you fellas are in, right? What was this trick that you say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused?
Take that!
What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone can be fooled by such a childish imitation. You say yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim of the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me. What? That's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. White. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here in this very court a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most reputable shabby defense I'd ever seen.
Objection!
Can you prove that, Graham? Prove the attorney who was the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Or... Hey. Forget about it. Yeah. I wouldn't do something like that. Not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Objection!
Have you no pride, son?
Objection!
Not a pride. In case you didn't know, Wright, here at Court, we deal with people's lives. Look at those whites. Your Honor! For myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney question was the witness standing before me now. However, I decided on this court as the judge. It's the best of power to hand down the vote. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a member without evidence to support it. No! That has no further evidence. The court will now excuse the witness. Circumstances showing Mr. Tigre and devious for sure, but not conclusive. But you've come so far. Say he impersonated gun ad, say he impersonated ill. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. Sucks to be you, right? Step right up the Tigre, or you're gonna get mauled. You've got that? Oh, man, to do it was chase him around a bit. I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. I just have one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence, and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tigre. Hold it! Your Honor, sir! Wait! Detective? Detective Gumshoe! Sorry it took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the walks. Here it is. My heart's counting on this too. What is it, Detective? Is it obvious, pal? It's the final, decisive piece of evidence. What? Sorry it took so long, pal. But I finally got the results from the lab. Results? I got the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle. Oh, so do you know who the prints belong to now? You think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know. So, tell us. They're the Tigers, right? I knew it. You bet. Here is crystal all over the bottle. The pure Tigre's ball prints, all right. That's great. You got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. Is there anything on the line for this, Nick? I know. Look, I'm sorry. It's kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose print's on this bottle now. Huh? What? Why not? What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the Tigre put poison in Glen Alex's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle really doesn't make any difference now. I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use. Hey, you're so hard on yourself. This is our last chance to help Maggie. Some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. You will, loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal. Detective Gumshoe? Maggie? You've been working on something for me? Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hair now. Detective Gumshoe, wait! He's gone. Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. Right. Yes, Your Honor. Let's do a recess so you can prepare this decisive evidence you discovered. Yes? Don't keep us all in suspense, try it. Sell us. Naturally. We can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we? Thank you, Phoenix. How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. These lawyers so know how to blow things out of proportion. Now, given the nature of the evidence, it was speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright. I know I can't do anything new with this evidence. We'll back into a corner here. Maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit. But waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final and decisive piece of evidence to the court.
Take that!
This is the defense's final piece of evidence. Isn't that the victims? Your Honor! Naturally, this court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belong to you, Mr. Tigre. What? What? One man, one person is focused. Put on that pen, little bottle, is that what you're saying? Well, what the hell did it anyway? Phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tigre, this is a decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains potassium cyanide. This bottle contains potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? The poison used to murder Mr. L, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprint. Well, how do you explain that? You make a good clown, you know that? What? You think you're never gonna get this to stick. You're just gonna make me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that gonna fool the Tigre? A bluff? I can see straight through you, Phoenix, right? They ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it. No, no. This is the bottle we found traces of poison in. Don't mess with the Tigre or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it. Got him at last. What? Why has everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle. Is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But you ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go. You still haven't figured it out. Don't you realize what you just said? What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If You really had nothing to do with the murder. You shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. Just now, you stepped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. You don't know who you're messing with. I'm Tigre. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some dumped up suit get the better of me? So, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you just saw. The phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you. The biggest phony of all! What's going on? Looks like a blackout. Well done, Wright. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey. Mr. Wright, got a tiger by his toe. If this one hollers, he won't be let go. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godot? He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glenn Albion. Unfortunately for us, we've been able to rectify a very grave error. This court has been guilty in the absence of a genuine defectatory. Yes, he was. In the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. The Tigre is a truly frightening criminal. The truly frightening one is that the fence attorney over there. Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bud, not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. Mr. Wright! I'm in the lost woods. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. So mad Mr. Wright ended me in all that trouble a month ago. Now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick, in the doorway. Detective Gumshoe. Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. See you out, pal. Wait. Detective Gumshoe. Oh yeah. Congratulations, Maggie. Thanks. I knew you were innocent all along. Why didn't you say that in your testimony then? Huh? Oh. Oh. I was. Well, guess I'll be heading off then. See you out. Wait up, detective! He just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medicine bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy. Looks like he still isn't ready to forgive him. Can't you put it in a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maya's right. Let's help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie, You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this. I wanted to believe that, Saw. On that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it. I have to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom.
Take that!
Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom. That's a present from Detective Gumshoe. Made with a ton of love. He said you lost Wright and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe. I actually really like weenies, you know? Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this now? No? How is it, Maggie? It's really good. So the case of phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life